Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we're going to be having a look at, it's from Star Wars Rebels, and it's the Wookie warrior, and I think it's Wullfwarro, how you pronounce that. I'm not quite sure. If I've got that wrong, please correct me. Now, this isn't something that I would ordinarily pick up. And I've had this, again, quite a while. I got it as a special offer. I think it was actually on sale from Star Action Figures here in the UK for quite a silly price. And the reason I actually bought this was just quite simply because while I enjoyed the Rebels, it was more a case of, for me, just sort of getting these to build more of a Wookiee army, really, I suppose. So if you were looking at doing a diorama around Kashyyyk or something like that, then you could easily sort of pop these figures in. And while strictly speaking, not, obviously, these guys weren't on Kashyyyk themselves, and they don't have any of that sort of army that those Wookiee sort of warriors were sort of wearing. It's still nice just to have extra Wookiees to put into a background for an army. So in terms of the card back of these, there's not too much to report. Obviously, it's quite nice the way it's designed. So obviously, it comes on that sort of stormtrooper helmet is the design of the actual packaging, and then on either side of the card, obviously you've got the Wookie warrior. Sorry, on that side. And if I'm getting his name wrong here, I can only apologise. Wullfwarro. But it's quite a nice looking card, but obviously sort of quite plain. This isn't ever anything, that I said I would ordinarily pick up. It was just purely from the point of view of being able to get some additional Wookiees. So let's have a look at the back of the card. Okay, so on the back, I know obviously there are quite a few Rebels that were, or I should say from this series that were released. So this is MS-07 as part of that line. And literally there is just the sort of cartoon images of Wullfwarro and the Wookie warrior in some sort of battle scene. A little bit of legal information on the bottom, not too much. And it does actually show there Sabine Wren and a Stormtrooper, which is another one that you can get in these packs. So, but quite a nice back of the card. And as I said, the design on the front's quite nice with that Stormtrooper helmet on. I do know, obviously, these figures are very limited in articulation. You can't, I don't even think you can call these 5 POA because I don't believe their heads move at all. It literally is arms up and down and legs up and down. But as I said, I only got this because I wanted to sort of build a little bit more of a Wookiee, I suppose, army, if you want to class it as that, and maybe one day do something like around a Kashyyyk diorama or something like that. But let's get these figures out of the packaging. We'll have a look. Okay, so here we've got the figures out, as you can see. Where to start here, really? A little bit odd body shaped, I suppose, in terms of Wullfwarro. He's very, very thick set. Those arms are incredibly long. The actual colouring on the figures is quite nice. Wullfwarro is obviously a very darker brown, and then the Wookie warriors are much more of a sort of a very, very light brown. There really isn't too much to say about these figures, really, either from front and back. As you can see there, not too much to report, really. Very, very sort of plain looking. As I said, and these are both sort of 5 POA figures. And while I do collect the 5 POA for loose displays, some obviously look far better than others. I think we've got to be honest. But this is, I think when were these released? Probably originally 2014, possibly, something like that. So, they are pretty much very, very basic. As I said, there is no articulation in the heads at all, certainly on the Wookie warrior. No, and nothing on Wullfwarro, if I am pronouncing that correctly, as well. So literally the articulation you've got is the legs move up and down, and the arms move up and down. So literally only 4 points of articulation. But as I said, this was just purely something I picked up, just so that I could actually put these into a Wookiee army, and at the end of the day, if you're an army builder, it's always nice to have these back. You can always put these in any sort of background scene as well. If you turn their backs or whatever, But it is nice to just sort of have other Wookiees in the line. So anyway, it was just a really quick video. Very, very basic figures. Quite nice packaging. But yeah, that's not a great deal I can say more about these. Anyway, listen, if you have enjoyed this video, and I laugh about that in jest, but, you know, please hit the like button and subscribe. There'll be more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions or any comments on these, I mean, they are basic figures, but please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll come back to it as soon as possible. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.